My name's Erin Vincent, and my husband Kevin and I lead a home group at the West Campus. 3 years ago at the last Be the Church that we did, our home group, along with another home group, decided to do a yard give. So if you think like yard sale, but we're giving everything away. So one of the neat things about doing the yard give, at least for our group, is both of our groups have quite a few children, and with the yard give we were able to really get the kids involved with, setting up the tents and organizing the clothes and organizing, the piles of toys, and just really having some interaction with them where, they're not just standing around getting fussed at. We were really able to engage them, which was really important to me because I really think it's important that we model just the serving and what we do as a church to our kids so they can see us in action as well. Another thing that really tickled me was how difficult it was for people to just accept the gift. We had so many people offer, for donations, insisted on giving us money, and we had to repeatedly tell them, we don't want anything from you. We just really are here to serve. We want to be a blessing. And that was really hard for a lot of people to kind of come to grips with. Another really neat story that came from that particular Be the Church was a couple had come to the yard give that morning. They had moved here from up north somewhere like a week or two prior to us doing the yard give, and before they left where they were, they had given all of their stuff away. They got in their car and they drove down here. So they were driving by, and the wife saw our signs. We had really big signs that everything was free, and she said, let's stop. And the husband was kind of skeptical and, nothing's free, I'm not gonna stop. Well, anyway, they ended up turning around and they came back and they made a comment that everything that they needed we had there. We haven't seen them in 3 years, had no idea who they were. Well, today, Kevin and a couple of other folks from West Campus went to one of our partners in the Valley to check out one of the other locations for the Be the Church, the Hungry No More. And the same lady that received the gifts 3 years ago is serving and I think working at the Hungry No More facility. And so she actually was sharing the story of the yard give, not knowing that it was our home group that was there. And so I just thought that was so cool. And she and her husband are actually going to be donating a lot of stuff for the yard give that we're going to be doing in a couple of weeks for the Be the Church. So I just think it's really neat how it's kind of all cycled around. And I know they really want their donations to just be a blessing, kind of like the donations were a blessing to them.
Go ahead.
I'm Richard.
I'm Julie Stanley. Back in 2012, we moved here from Maine. We decided in a week's time we were leaving there. And so we just started giving everything we owned away. We had a 3-bedroom place, and I handed everything out, and my friends are like, how can you give everything away? What are you going to do when you get there? You're not going to have anything. And so I said, well, don't worry. When the time's right, God will make sure we have what we need. And so we loaded our car up with everything that we had and that we could fit in it. And off we went to South Carolina. So in that first year, we did some yard selling and things, and we had just put a bid on a house. And we still had things we didn't need. And on a Sunday morning, we were coming home from church, and we went by and saw that y'all were having a yard sale, and that it was free. And I thought, oh, we have to stop. That's the one for us. And so we went in and we started talking with people and looking around, and I almost cried because we got everything we needed. We got a table and towels and sheets and glasses and things like that we hadn't picked up yet. And as it turned out, the house that we had bid on fell through. And so we were a little heartbroken and didn't quite understand what was going on with God. And but then He came through with a bigger, better house for us. His dream was way bigger than my dream. But from everything that we had gathered, we moved into our house. We signed the papers one day. The next morning, the church was there with trailers and vans, moved us into the house. We had everything we needed to build a 3-bedroom house from top to bottom. There was not one room that didn't have what it needed. And from the bottom of my heart, I just thank everybody who donated to that, because although they didn't know what they were donating for, God already had a purpose. And at that time it was for us. And I work with a program that your church had come to volunteer to help us with. And when I was in there, I heard them mentioned there for a yard sale, and I was like, hey, I got some stuff for your yard sale. You helped me outfit my house, and so now I'd like to give some things back to you. And so I was letting them know that I had an entertainment center and a table and a few things, and maybe God will use those things for another family the way He used them for us.
I'm really looking forward to this next Be the Church in a couple of weeks. Looking forward to just seeing what God's going to do and the stories that are going to come from it. If you are not in a home group, I cannot encourage you enough to get in a home group, get involved. It's bigger than you are. It'll make more of an impact on you than you will on the community. And if you're not in a home group, you really are missing out on the best part of Cedar Creek.